It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. We have a full week over here, Monday through Friday. I feel like because my kids' schedules, I've been having these 4-day weeks, and so I'm a little bit spoiled. This will be a full, it's not like I'm not here 5 days for you guys. I'm always here 5 days. Always here for you, unless, national emergency. And even with those, I still show up. I show up on days of earthquakes. I show up in torrential rain. I show up when it's dark out, when it's light out. I show up when there's crisis. I'm here for you. Okay. I am here for you. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Oh my goodness. What a weekend. I hope everyone had a great weekend, actually. First of all, I will shout out the sun. The sun has gone to bed, and so must I. No, it hasn't. The sun has arrived to our days, and so I'm gay. Does that work? No, I'm not going to be like Kyle Richards. It's a gorgeous day here in Los Angeles. And guess what I'm doing today? I am taking, two things. I think the first thing I say will not be so popular with a lot of you guys, but I'm willing to risk it because I'm here for the people. And I want you guys to relate to my pluses and my negatives. I am taking one of my dogs to the doctor, to the vet. And we're getting him like a psychiatric evaluation. And it would only make sense that my dog has severe anxiety, PTSD, depression, separation anxiety, like something. So I've talked to many people on the internet. I've Googled many things. I've TikToked. I've hired trainers. I've done all the things. And I still have a very hyper dog. I would almost say neurotic dog. And he loves us so much. And he's so anxious that he needs to be on our bodies at all times, but not just like a lap dog. He's not like just like he's like in our face, can't stop moving, shaking, going on, licking, scratching. He wants to make out with me. Okay. No one has ever wanted to make out with me more than Murphy. And like, I'm sorry, I'm just not that big of a floozy. Right? Like I only make out with one person, and that's Lance. So I am going to take Murphy to get a psychiatric evaluation today, and I will keep you guys updated. This is a show that really takes you through the whole arena. Dog mom, mom. Speaking of, I spent yesterday with my mom and my 80-year-old stepdad. My stepfather, Ehud Diskin, that's Ehud. He is an incredible man. He turned 80 on March 3rd. He was a colonel in the Israeli army for many years. He's an author of 4 novels. He's award-winning. He's incredible. And he was my stepdad. Well, he and my mom got together when I was 6 years old. So that was really cool. So we got to spend the whole day with our family. We played pickleball. My kids they jumped in the pool during the rain. They cold plunged. We went bowling. And then yesterday I got a car. Like just randomly. I know that sounds crazy, but my lease is up on my car. I have a Volvo. My lease is up. Car prices are psychotic. Like, in fact, I should take car prices to the vet too for a psychiatric evaluation. Something is going on here. Our economy is not okay. I went to Trader Joe's for just a normal shop with Lance on Saturday morning. Note to self, women. And you know what? This is not just for women. This is really for anyone. And I don't know if you guys are like this. So Lance is the bigger eater, I would say, of the two of us, right? Like if just like calorie wise. I don't know why I take Lance to the market with me because I've never in my life spent $400 at Trader Joe's. Lance finds a way. $400 at Trader Joe's. I said, oh my God, $400. He's like, yep. So I guess we either pay mortgage or go to Trader Joe's this week. I mean, it's unreal. Everything is so crazy. It's so expensive. So car prices are so crazy too. If you're leasing a car out there, it's insane. So this is so crazy what happened. I'm an impulse buyer. My lease is up in 1 month. Okay. 1 month. My friend calls me yesterday. He texts me, Adam, shout out Adam. He's known me since I was 16. He sent me a text and he said, are you getting a Tesla? I said, Tesla? No. And he goes, oh, Lauren thought you were getting a Tesla. That's his wife. I said, I don't know why. That's so weird. And he goes, oh, because we're getting one. I said, really? How much are you paying? He told me. I said, oh my God. Immediately went to the Tesla store. There's like a Tesla showroom at the mall near my house. Went there, test drove a car. Within 1 hour, I signed a new lease. Everything needs to be as easy as that. Everything. Anyway, I'm excited about that. I am going to pick it up after I drop my dog off for a psychiatric evaluation. It is a fun day Monday over here. And speaking of psychiatric evaluations, this show today, this week, Daily Dose of Donna is sponsored by BetterHelp. So you have to give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/Donna. That's DANA, and get on your way to being your best self. I just want you guys to remember how important therapy is for me, for my dog, for honestly, every single person that we talk about on these reality shows. A lot of us, I want you to just think about this really fast, okay? I already talked about daylight savings last week. Remember when I was talking about having that extra hour? So if you have that, extra hour a day, if you could do anything with it, wouldn't you want to work on yourself, make yourself a priority? I just think that in the last 2 months, without getting too personal, I've had an incredibly, incredibly challenging few months. Okay. If you guys were here, you kind of remember December, January were 2 of the toughest months I've ever had in my entire life. And therapy is literally the reason that I'm like doing better. 100%. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Visit betterhelp.com/Donna. That's DANA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Donna. Lots of stories today. Let's just go down the run. Go down the run. Let's go through the rundown. Let's up the run up down to all the stories today. We're going to start with the fact that Kate Middleton has been seen. Now, I know this was a story that was a drop in the bucket for most. I'm going to be 100% honest. I am not a royal family obsessed follower, any of that. But I did find it highly suspect that Kate Middleton was MIA for so long. I really did. I was wondering, where is she? So she's been spotted. I saw Talk of Shame. That's Kiki Monique. I mean, she might as well be a weekly contributor to my show because I talk about her so often. She posted a TMZ article saying Kate Middleton was spotted in public for the first time since hospitalization. She was in a car. She's been seen. Cool. Okay. Kate Middleton's good. Everyone okay with that? Are we good? Are we good? Audience? Frankie, my other dog, are you good? Everyone's good? Let's move on. Let's talk about Lala. You guys, Lala's pregnant. Now, I was not surprised by this at all. And I don't know if you guys kind of pick up on these things. I think once you've been pregnant, you have this sixth sense when you see someone, you're like, something's up here. Now, if you guys remember, she was on Watch What Happens Live back on, it was right when Scandoval was not Scandoval, when Vanderpump was starting. It was a month ago, maybe. And she was on Watch What Happens Live with Michael Rappaport. I don't know if you remember that episode. I wonder if I just do a quick scan through the pictures, I'll be able to find it pretty fast. Okay, here she is. Well, it's a video, so it may be kind of hard to see. But she is wearing big baggy clothes, which she wears often. And she was wearing, her face just had a little bit of a fuller look. I mean, she looked great. I think she's beautiful, but I definitely got a feeling that she was with some extra something. She had life. She had a little extra life in her. And she actually did. She had a baby in her. She had a little baby. So she finally has announced her pregnancy, and she talks about the fact that she's been wanting to announce it forever. Her whole story is that, she calls her whole family her pod of orcas, because she doesn't really, she's a single mom, and that's huge, but she really does go through life with the help of her mom, her brother. She lives with all of them. And so because of that, I think it is kind of a nice, she She has like a support system. You know, in other cultures, like just say Asian cultures, like a lot of Asian cultures, I know a lot of Middle Eastern cultures. You guys tell me if it's in your culture. It really is like this is how it works. Usually, you live with your parents and they watch you and they take care of your kids and it's like a very generational thing. And so it's a really really sweet thing that she has her mom to help, especially, considering the fact she's a single mom. She did have IUI. This is according to someone had posted on like the Bravo Reddit thread. So I got the kind of like the Cliff's Notes essentially of what she talked about. She says, I'm so happy that the picture finally came out because I've been rocking a beer belly for a few weeks now. Here's the good thing. I always wear baggy clothing. She found out on December 22nd. Yes, so it was before she went on Watch What Happens Live. She said that she was going to Palm Springs. She was nervous to take the test. So she said she had people asking her and Sheena and her family in Palm Springs if she was going to take the test there, but she was worried, is it going to ruin her Christmas if she doesn't get it? Because at this point, like, when you get an IUI, that's intrauterine inception, something like that. You guys tell me if that's the case, if that's the wording. I know IVF, but IUI is basically a sperm donor, and this is gonna like minimize the process, but like everyone calls it like turkey baster, right? You basically get inserted. Insemination. Thank you. Insemination. So she's checking, all the time. She says, so I'm fidgety. I'm going to go just take it on my own. I'm not going to tell anybody. So I go up there, pee on my little stick, and I'm waiting, I'm pacing, and it pops up double lines. And I was like, oh my God, that was really fast. I'm tripping. What have I done? And sure enough, she had a little, she got pregnant. So she said she got her donor through California Cryobank. And so when I met with them and they worked with this fertility specialist a lot, they knew of each other. Only 10% of women who go into the California Cryobank to seek out a donor because they want to do parenthood on their own. It'd be nice if I could speak, considering I do a podcast for a job. 10% of women are like Lala, who just want a child and need a donor. In fact, like I have a girlfriend that I haven't really kept in touch with in the last few years, but I met her in casting when I first started casting back in 2003, 2004. And she just had a baby like 8 months ago. She's my age, 40, 42 or whatever. And I think she just was struggling to find the perfect, like she was looking for a marriage. She was looking for the perfect man. She wanted marriage and babies, but she wasn't finding it. And she honestly wanted kids. Like that was a life goal of hers. So she had a little baby girl through the same way. And she's living like the most amazing life with this baby. It's so sweet. Anyway, so I think it's going to be really cute. I think it's going to be really cute. Good for her. And I wonder, it's time for Vanderpump Rules to be done for all of these people, right? Like we've decided, I think we've as a collective decided that Vanderpump Rules should get canceled at the end of the season, right? Like this is the swan song. The swan song. Oh, that reminds me when I say the word swans. Yesterday, I saw someone post about Brandy Glanville talking about this whole Leah McSweeney, Andy Cohen thing. So just a couple of updates. Obviously, last week we talked about the fact that Leah was now also suing Andy for all these horrible things, including the fact, one of her allegations was that Andy is consistently doing, drugs and offering them to the different housewives that Watch What Happens Live. And just like I kind of predicted, I'm not saying it's because of me, but because I thought of this, I was like, Andy Cohen is not going to go away. He's not. This is not the thing, right? There may be a thing, but this is not the thing. And sure enough, and even if he was giving cocaine to all the adults, that's not a reason for me to think he should be canceled. Now, that being said, finally, all the housewives started to speak up. I was thinking to myself, I was like, why aren't these housewives helping him? Because that's what you need. When you're getting publicly scrutinized in the media and no one is coming to your defense, it just looks bad. Like if you think about it, when Harvey Weinstein was coming, when people were going after Harvey Weinstein or people were going after Kevin Spacey or even Lizzo, did you notice most people did not back them up? You didn't see a lot of people saying, like, I can't believe this happened. This is not the case. This is not who I know. It's like most people were just quiet if they were on their side. But the ones that were against were really loud. So, of course, Tamra Judge came after and supported Melissa Gorga. So many of the housewives have come after, come out to Andy's defense. And I really like that. I think that's good. I mean, it's not just like they're just using him as long as he's in his position. Cause like that, putting themselves out there and defending him, it's more than just like a ploy to stay employed, in my opinion. It's like, we got your back, don't you worry. So that being said, Brandi Glanville posted yesterday on her Twitter something about, the connection between, she essentially is trying to say that Andy Cohen is this era's Truman Capote. Okay. Now, if you're watching Feud, which I have to admit I fell off. Are you guys still watching Feud? If I need to, let me know. I watched about 3 episodes, maybe 4, and then I fell off. But maybe I should continue to watch it. Anyway, so in Truman Capote, in Feud, this FX show about Truman Capote and his swans, the story kind of wraps around Truman Capote, who is he's like a big gossip, an author, and he's a super like flaming gay man. This is obviously taking place like years and years ago. I can't remember specifically the year, 50s, 60s. I can't remember. And he essentially uses the women around him, the swans, as fodder, as content, and kind of like throws them all under the bus. And so she is saying, dear swans, this is what Brandi tweets. X's, dear, and then she uses the emoji for swans. I am pretty sure the housewife that filed a lawsuit is speaking of her experience with swans of her franchise city. Only a few have quacked in protest, and those allegedly a bit too much. Night, swans. So, listen, I don't know what she's saying. She's saying franchise city. Leah was New York. Is she talking about, Luann, Sonia, Ramona, Dorinda? I'm going to ask you something really fast. How surprised would you be on a scale of 1 to 10 if you found out that Dorinda was sometimes doing pasta? Okay. My amount of surprise is -8. And this is from someone that has never once seen cocaine. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't talk to people that I am not someone that socializes with it. Like, it's not around me. My friends don't do it. If they do it, it's not in my presence. I've never once seen, in all my life, I swear to God, I've never once seen the actual drug. That being said, I did have a long conversation with a mom at my kid's baseball game. Her son is also on my team. And she said, I love martinis. And the only reason I'm not hungover is because I microdose mushrooms every time I drink. I said, is this a thing? Is this a thing now? We're all just microdosing mushrooms. Is it? Who knew? Alice in Wonderland. Here we go. So yes, Sonia, Dorinda, and Luann are 100% on, they like their pasta with extra sauce. I am absolutely convinced of it. There's not even a thought question. So none of it is surprising. So, okay, so Brandi, so you're saying that like Leah's talking about the New York Housewives. Who cares? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? There's so many bigger things in the world to be upset about. This is not one of them. Now, Leah has been proven time and time again to be hypocritical. I was going to say my goy, but he could be my goy. My boy, Zach Peter, he posted on his Instagram yesterday a really great, interesting clip about what basically like showing Leah for her incredible hypocrisy. Okay. Leah was on her show, The Girls Trip. This is after she had done Real Housewives of New York. She continued to do the show. So this is after when she relapsed on camera, after the Tiki Torch incident, after that, all of that, right? She goes on camera and she talks very openly about the fact that, she This is on the girls' trip. She's like, you guys are boring. Can we get more shots? She says this to all the girls. That doesn't really sound like someone that, is really adamantly against alcohol being used on these shows. It feels incredibly, incredibly just yuck. It feels yucko. Leah is nothing but a big hypocrisy to me. I think her story is just going to be tossed out. Like, I can't imagine. Now, I did hear that she really, really wants to be on trial. Like, she wants to go to court about this. I also saw someone else post an interview. I think it was with Bryce Sander from ET, talking to her on a red carpet a few months ago. And he was like, would you do Real Housewives of New York again? And she's like, yeah. This is before they announced the new girls in the legacy. She's like, yeah, I mean, only because like my last season was so bad with COVID and everything, I totally would do the show again. I'm sorry, what? You know what it's giving? It's giving it's giving basically being in love with someone. Like if I was like, oh my God, I am so in love with Lance. I can't get enough of him. I want to be with him. I want to be his wife. And then he says like, girl, don't call me. I'll call you, or like not going to happen, or it's a no for me, dog, or, whatever. It's not you, it's me. If he gave me one of those publicly, and then a few months later, I was like, Lance is like so lame. Like, I never want to be with Lance. That's what it's giving. It's just giving scorned. It's giving hurt and scorned, right? Meanwhile, yesterday, where were you when Scandoval broke? I want to know, because yesterday was the anniversary of Scandiversary. So March 3rd, was it March? I think it was March 2nd, actually. I was at my kid's school waiting for a performance. It was a Friday. Never forget it. It was the weekend of all weekends. I thought, oh my God, it was like the best like high we have ever gotten. And that's all I want to talk about with Vanderpump today. Although I will go and talk about Brittany and Jackson just a little bit. But like Vanderpump Schmanderbump, right? Schmanderbump. Oh, actually, before I move on, I will say one thing about Lisa Vanderpump. So Lisa Vanderpump, this is tough. How old is Lisa Vanderpump? Because I've seen some very conflicting remarks here about this online. Lisa Vanderpump is of an age where, yes, she's like considered a little bit older, definitely older than the Vanderpump Rules cast, right? But she is very immersed in this world, right? She's the executive producer of Vanderpump Rules. She's the star of Vanderpump Rules. She's very highly invested in this whole drama and everything. She was stopped by a paparazzi. I believe it was at an airport or something over the weekend. She's holding her dog. And the paparazzi starts to ask her about this lawsuit with Rachel. Basically, just to remind you guys, Rachel is suing Tom and Ariana for revenge porn because of the distribution, the recording of the FaceTime video where she was, pleasuring herself and she didn't know she was being recorded. Absolutely wrong on Tom's end. But then distribution is based on Ariana, that apparently, allegedly, Ariana sent this video around. Lisa Vanderpump comes back and says, 63, according to Joe. She's 62, 63. No one knows. Lisa Vanderpump comes back and she goes, well, I mean, why would you send a video of you pleasuring yourself if you don't want it to be out there? I'm sorry. Does she know Scandoval? Like, does she know the turn of events? Does she think that Raquel filmed herself on her own accord and texted it to Tom, airdropped it, put it in the cloud? Like, there is absolutely no truth to that. Now, if Raquel filmed herself and sent it to Tom, he wouldn't have a case. She wouldn't. I don't think she'd ever go and sue Tom and Ariana if she, by choice, sent a video out. But she didn't. Now, it's exactly 1 year after Scandoval breaks. Is it like a cry to stay in the media? Who knows? We'll have to see. We'll see what's going on with that lawsuit. I personally am kind of like half invested, half not. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, great. Let's talk about Kyle Richards. guys want to know what Kyle Richards did this weekend? Kyle Richards flew her little bod over to Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, to the Extra Innings Festival. Why do I know about this festival? Because you guys, I am a hardcore DMB fan. Did you guys know that? I love Dave Matthews. So Dave Matthews has been like a solid show that I see almost every single summer, unless there's like some sort of situation. But I went to see Dave at 38 weeks pregnant at the Hollywood Bowl, and I danced. I went to town at that show. Okay. Dylan came out swinging. Dylan came out and he's like, eat, drink, and be merry. I love DMB. Now, I understand there's like the people that love DMB and then there's people that hate DMB. Like there's usually no one in between. What is that about Dave? It's probably like similar to Grateful Dead and Fish. It's like no one's kind of just on the fence. Now, Dave Matthews performed at this festival. Morgan Wade opened for him, in addition to many other people. Kyle Richards was there. There's a picture of her taking a picture or filming Morgan singing my favorite new song. And it's called 2 a.m. in London, I think it's called, or maybe just 2 a.m. This song is so incredibly beautiful, but the wording of the song is really interesting because she's basically saying, I'm in London. It's 2 a.m. It's 6 p.m. where you are, which is LA. That's the LA time zone. I want to be home. I miss you. I don't want to be here. Okay. It feels a little bit like on the nose. Now, Kyle added a 6th tattoo to her repertoire. You know, she has 5. I mean, the only person that doesn't know she has 5 is Mauricio, right? Maurice. She got a cowboy hat, a very strange looking cowboy hat on her arm right here. Now, there's a couple things going on here. Kyle's middle name is Hat. Kyle Hat Richards. Okay. However, I can't believe she put a cowboy hat without inscribing Kimosabi forever next to this hat. Because you know Kyle and Kimosabi. Kimosabi is the hat store where they sell tequila, and she had the whole thing with Kathy and Lisa, the tequila. Anyway, I think, Kyle's getting tattoos of cowboy hats. We know she likes a hat, but she doesn't necessarily love a cowboy hat. Kimosabi's all kinds of hats. But she got a cowboy hat. She was in Arizona with Morgan. I saw something very interesting. One of you guys posted it in my Facebook group. And this was a YouTube video of Morgan Wade performing a very small, intimate concert back in like May of 2023. Okay. So the big news had not broke. People were starting to question Kyle and her. Very, very small, but like Face Reality 60 and had not done their big deep dive. Remember, the news of the separation came out in July. So at this point, people were like, why is she so close with Kyle? But no one was like, oh, yet. Morgan Wade is doing this concert. Now, by the way, side note, huge fan of Morgan Wade now. Not only do I like her music, not all of it, but I like a lot of it. But I DM'd her, or no, I posted it on my stories and she DM'd me back. And then I said, my podcast listeners really like you, and they do. Shout out to you, Josh, and so many others really like you, and they've gotten me into your music. And she was like, thank you so much. And she did like that, like pray emoji, right? So now I'm a waiter. What are her fans called? I'm a waiter, not waiter, waiter, Morgan Waiter. So anyway, she is in this concert back in May, and she's doing like a lot of, chatting with the audience. Very cute, actually, very cute. Laughing, chatting. But she's talking about the fact that she has younger siblings. I didn't know this, who are very young, very young. And she said that she has kids. She said her siblings that are young will text her and say, hey, and she'll respond and be like, hey guys, what are you doing? And then she won't hear anything back, which is like a very young thing to do. By the way, my kids do the same. I don't know how old her younger siblings are, but then she did say something. She goes, I was texting with my friend Kyle. And I said, Kyle. And Kyle said, I know what's going on with your little sister's life. Your little sisters are texting me. I know everything that's happening in their life. So in May of 2023, Kyle Richards was on a text, like she was text friendly with Morgan Wade's family. Find that quite interesting. Personally, see, had the big separation news and the Face Reality 16. And I mean, I bless Eliza every day for giving us that incredible deep dive. But had that not come out, I think Morgan would be very open about her relationship with Kyle because she talks so big about it. Like she talks so openly. My friend Kyle Richards, they're in love. They are so in love. Now, apparently, there was this rumor, this blind on Dumois, that a country singer was going to come out with their lover, and they were going to come out and talk about it on a magazine cover. And Kyle said on Amazon Live, "No, that's not me. I was dying to know who that was, though." Interesting. Morgan's siblings are young, Simona says. Kyle and Morgan took them to Disneyland. Where's Portia? Was Portia invited? Speaking of, Kyle is really, I'm struggling with Kyle right now. You guys know this, obviously, right? So let me try to find the clip really fast. I want to say Bywig Hello Drama posted it. But essentially, this is a clip of Kyle talking at the reunion that we're going to watch this week, right? So this is like a little clip of this week's reunion. And she's talking about sharing all this public stuff in her own life and no one else is sharing. Okay. This I find is really, really frustrating because she straight up says to Sutton that she doesn't believe that Sutton shares enough. Okay. I'm going to share the clip with you guys and I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling. Are you guys ready? Hold on. Present. Share screen. I love the share screen thing that I do with you guys. Let me make it bigger. That's what she said. Here we go.
So entitled to think that you are owed an explanation of everything that's going on in my bedroom.
Listen, we all share what's going on in our lives.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Every one of us. That is true. That is true.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean
it's
by
not
that?
true.
Let me tell you something. I have been on the show for 13 years. I've watched my 2-year-old birthday party to that child is now going to be applying to colleges next year. My children learning how to drive a car, going off to college, coming home from college, getting engaged, rumors about my marriage. I've had 2 siblings on the show. My family has fallen apart. Don't talk to me about not sharing what's going on in my life. You bought a horse this season and you have a dating coach. Give me a break.
Okay. Kyle, this is the argument about Kyle being this OG housewife that's been on the show 13 years. She's allowed to do whatever she wants. Remember, we talked about this last week. This is the part that I can't handle because there is a difference between you happen to see a lot in my life because you literally have been filming me since my kid was 2. I'm sorry. Showing Portia's 2-year-old birthday party was showing a lot about your life. Sutton would show a birthday party in 2 seconds. That's not what we mean. We don't mean actually seeing events that occur and parties that you're having. We want to see what is really going on. Doesn't she get the difference? Now, Sutton opened up so much this season. In fact, I think more than she's ever opened up. That whole Merce exchange, that whole conversation, the crying about and then learning about her when she was growing up in New York. I feel like we really actually got to know Sutton this season. If she said this to Crystal, maybe it would make sense, right? Or Anna Marie, but that's not Anna Marie's fault. It was a bad edit. Or they excluded so much on the edit. I don't know. I find this really upsetting to me that Kyle is taking this idea of I do it all. I'm an open book. And you guys aren't. Kyle has such an issue with Sutton. And I don't know why it upsets me more than anything. I'm okay if Kyle has an issue with Dorit. I'm okay with Kyle having an issue with anyone. Sutton, for some reason, just immediately is giving bully behavior. It is. It gives me bully behavior. And it makes me wonder about, I don't know. I guess it's because that last season when they were in Aspen at Kyle's house, when Diana licking lips Jenkins was there, and they all went after Sutton, and Kyle was just like sitting through it in her own home. I'll never forget that feeling. It made me sick. Do not like it. So listen, at this point, March 4th, Kyle is still lying to her fans. She is damn well in a relationship with Morgan Wade. We all know that. Okay. We all know that. I'm telling you right now, I can't name names, name them. I can't. I have sources who have confirmed this news in July of 2023 to me. And I told you guys then, Morgan and Kyle are together. They've always been together. Well, not always, but they've been together for a solid 6 months before the separation came out. Okay. They're together. Take my word for it or don't. So at this point, she's still lying to her fans. And I don't know what her end game will be here, how she can come out of this without somewhat looking like she bamboozled people that trusted her. And I truly believe the biggest thing, and I'll never forget this, Dave Quinn, the guy who wrote the article in People magazine about Kyle Richards, said to me, whether it was on a phone call or on the show, I don't remember. He said the biggest thing that you can do to alienate your fans is to lie to them. If you lie to your fans, the ones that, you know, are apologists for you, that like tell everyone to like lay off your back or whatever. If you lie to those people, then that's where you lose them. Name them, lose them. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You got to count your, no, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I just became a country star? Country. I've become a country fan. You know, Mom Unscripted says she's, no, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mom. But Katya says, because Bravo says she can only say it at the reunion. Well, if that's the case, if Bravo is putting such a, you know, muzzle on Kyle and saying you can only come out on our network, I cannot imagine that, you guys. Unless I guess it's like an exclusive, like we want to do a sit down with you. I just don't think she's going to come out at the reunion. I don't. Oh, she's not coming out at the reunion. I know too much. She's not coming out at the reunion, y'all. It's not happening. It ain't happening. Let me see if I can find my text that references this, and I'm not going to tell you obviously anything about it, like who wrote it, but I'm going to confirm. Hold. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe she comes out in the reunion. Okay. We'll see. All right. Let's move on, huh? Let's move on. Let's talk Heather Gay. So, you guys, as you know, Heather Gay is obviously this is a tricky subject. I am someone personally who, just talking about, and the trigger warning, we're talking about weight and bodies. Okay. I never know when to do a trigger warning or not, but I'm assuming some people are upset when we talk about this stuff. Heather Gay has been probably I think the only housewife, and tell me if I'm wrong, I'm not thinking of everyone, who has openly been a heavier woman. If you go back to like season 1, 2, 3, even 4 of Salt Lake City, Heather Gay is she has a larger body type than most other housewives that we see, or most other people that we see on Bravo, let's be honest, right? But she's always been just super confident in her skin. She's always been like, this is me. Now we know she owns the Beauty Lab, I believe it's called, which does like Botox, lasers, all that stuff. Full figure. That's a good word. Well, Andrew, you're saying Dolores, but Dolores is skinny mini. See, that's the thing. It's like maybe they used to be at some point, but they're also small now. Emily from OC, yeah, but again, skinny mini. You guys, they're also skinny. I guess Emily is, to me, Dolores never felt like she was like an overly larger person. Emily definitely struggled with her weight. We've heard this before. She talks about it. Now, Heather has completely changed her appearance. Heather has completely changed her appearance. It's shocking. I noticed it for the first time during the end of season 4, after like the Monica Garcia reveal and all of that. She did this interview with Variety with Kate Arthur, and she was being filmed. I don't know if you guys remember. And I was like, her face is different. She has a different face. Okay, fine. She works at beauty. She owns Beauty Lab. Like she's, doing all the fillers and the this and the that, and maybe a lower facelift. I don't know. And so many of these women change their face year by year. So like, that's not that shocking, but she is not like, just even from BravoCon. I saw her at BravoCon. Okay. She is a different body type than she was at BravoCon. Like, she completely lost the weight. And she's talking about the fact that she did it on Ozempic or, semaglutide. So did Emily for a little bit. Not the entire time, but Emily admits that she did it. I believe Dolores admitted that she did it. Every single one of them, I think, if they're not on it, have been on it. This is just the normal situation, right? And when I say normal, I don't mean like normal in our real lives. I'm talking about like women on TV. This is just the thing. And honestly, I get it. I have to see myself on camera every single day here. I fluctuate like 5 to 8 pounds. Okay. And I'm a short girl. I'm 5 feet. So even though I'm a petite person, I gain weight really, well, that's probably why I gain weight really easily. If I have one weekend of eating too much, crappy food or whatever, or like salty foods, you see it on my Monday show. Like I eat pizza on the weekends, like I just feel the difference immediately. You guys may not notice it, but I do. And if I had a bunch of other girls on this show and they all looked like Kristen Cavallari and like all these other little sticks, it would be really hard, because then you look even larger compared to the Lisa Barlows of the world and the Whitney Roses, right? Angie's, like, all these women are so freaking tiny. So it's really, really hard, I would imagine, to be able to watch yourself on TV year after year after year and not start to feel like, ugh, I don't like the way I look. Now, that's a normal, I think it's a pretty normal way of thinking. I think most women that I know who aren't feeling good in their body, it could be that they're 1 pound overweight, 10 pounds underweight, 100 pounds overweight. It doesn't matter, because it's not a number or a size that changes, like that dictates how you feel. It's how you feel, right? Some women are never happy. Some women always want to look skinnier. Some women always want to look bigger. Some women always want to look buffer. Women want bigger butts, like smaller arms, skinnier noses. Like, this is just our world that we live in. And if you guys aren't that way and you're completely 1000% happy with your body, bless the stars. Bless the stars. Because I truly believe it is so rare to be able to honestly be able to look at yourself on camera, not just in the mirror, on camera, rewatch yourself, hear things people say about you, which people have said horrible things about Heather on TV, or Emily, or Shannon when she had to take off her shirt on OC and she was overweight, or in my comments, about looking chunky. Like, we hear these things. It's very, very hard to not be affected by it. I think that's honest, right? I'm not trying to offend anyone, but this is just the sad reality. And Katya says, why do we women worry about our weight? I'm included. I think men do too. I just don't think they're as open about it. But I see Lance, like, he's on a journey right now to working out every day. He's like really obsessed with getting buff and getting muscles, and he cares. Like, I think, and I don't know if it's because we live in LA. I don't know if it's because you can see this in every single state and country. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but unfortunately, we're freaking ingrained with this horrible thing. Now, however, there is this whole body positivity movement, right? Where women are celebrated in their skin, no matter what the size, as long as they're healthy. And I think that is very, very important. I also think it's incredibly important to teach that to all young girls growing up. I wish I got taught that. I didn't. Okay. I love my mom, but I was put on a cabbage soup diet in high school. Okay. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I was told when I was 17 years old, I went to the store. I got really excited at Forever 21 because I found these really cute skinny jeans and I tried them on before I was going out. And I went into my mom's room and I was like, what do you think? And she's like, you can't wear those. Your belly's popping out over it. And she was probably right. But I think those kinds of comments, screw you. Okay. Anyway. Yes, men do care. I agree. Men do care, but men care in a different way. They're not like skinnier the better. They're like the buffer the better. Although I'm kind of like, they look a little bigger right now, but I think I'm like really into my strong arms. Like I was weightlifting the other day and I was like, got excited about that. Okay, so let me show you the clip and then we're going to talk about this because I'm really glad to see your guys' comments and then I have some other thoughts, okay? Hold on. This is from Bywig Hello Drama, of course. Hello, my best friend. And this is Heather Gay doing an interview, I think with ABC or something, about Ozempic and about all of that.
Represented body positivity. And now some women are saying it's kind of a cop-out.
Yeah. Like I've sold out. I've given up the banner of, relatable, accept yourself, love yourself. And it's disappointing to sad to know that body positivity was all a big lie because it's better to not be overweight.
Known for her fun-loving and bold personality, Heather Gay has cemented herself as a favorite on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
But lately, it's her changing appearance that's making headlines. That so-called Ozempic look that's seemingly everywhere these days.
One I knew was taking these GLP-1 medications, losing weight, and just bragging about how great it was and magical.
One of your co-stars on the show made a joke about your designer outfit.
Do you think it's a fake?
I do. I've never seen a corset in like a size 14.
Oh,
Ouch.
Have you?
Pretty cutting.
Yeah. Oh, cutting. But I've been called worse than size 14 Gucci. I mean, I've been called a manatee. I've been called Shrek. I've been called horrible things in private and public by my co-stars and by the general public.
So Heather tried something new.
The latest game-changing weight loss drug.
It's the drug that's taking Hollywood and America by storm. Ozempic, originally meant to treat people with chronic medical conditions like type 2 diabetes, one of the biggest and most controversial.
A ton of weight. This is obviously upsetting for a lot of people because she is being 100% sincere and honest in her thoughts, saying, I led myself to believe that like I'm body positive and I want to be happy in my own skin. But the truth is like, I'm better when I'm not overweight. Like I'm happier now. Now she made it a very clear indication that it was all about, people's reactions to her, people's outsiders' perspectives on her, other people feeling like she's not big enough or she's too big or other people calling her this or whatever. However, and this is really important because I know a lot of quote unquote skinny fat women. Do you know that word? Essentially, they don't work out. They don't take care of their bodies whatsoever. They have raging cholesterol. They have high blood pressure. So it's really a body by body situation because you could be incredibly healthy. But the truth is, and this is unfortunately society. So I got a DM today and I was told that I can read this and not anonymously. So I can read this and tell you guys the truth. I can tell you guys who wrote it and everything, but I thought this was a really interesting take on this. So this is from Britt Being Well on Instagram this morning. She said this, but everything she said about Heather Gay, but everything she said is 100% accurate. I've done all the things to lose weight and GLP-1s, that's like Ozempic, are the only thing that has worked. Every measure of health for me has improved, including all my fertility markers, something that literally doesn't happen to people as they hit 40. It's a literal miracle drug. I've worked at the largest and most prestigious international firms. Read in parentheses, I'm smart and accomplished. And in my 17-year career, not once had anyone ever commented on my looks, outfits, style, shoes, bags, nothing. I get compliments at least every week now. Same look, smaller body. So you're right. It shouldn't sit well with us, but it is 100% the world we live in. I thought it was really, really honest and really real. And she also said, I feel like she said, I saw Heather said it made her feel sad too. I get the sense Heather is a little like me. Like I never had a problem with my body until it became limiting, but it's clear society had an issue. I was never depressed, never hated myself, just didn't understand why it was such a big deal. Isn't that really, really like crazy, honest, and real? And I appreciate all those DMs all the time, by the way. People are judgy AF on overweight people. That's just the way it is. And it sucks. It truly sucks. There's so many reasons why women and men aren't able to lose weight. And if Ozempic is able to help them and they're able to get all those markers down, see, that is the cool thing about this, is what she said is like the inner stuff that gets better. Your fertility, your blood pressure, your chances of diabetes, your cholesterol, your heart, your this, your kidneys, your organs. That, by all means, to lose weight simply because you want people to say you look hot is kind of like probably not the best factor here. But I do think there is something to be said, like Emily, right? Emily took Ozempic and started working out. She lost a lot of weight. She didn't like the way it made her feel. She had horrible side effects. This was back in December of last year. This is Emily Simpson, from OC. She lost weight though, and she started to really enjoy the way it made her feel. So because of that, she kept going. And that, I think, could be the best response to any of this, is like better habits, right? Better habits. I don't know what the long-term effects are of GLP-1s at all. No one knows. We've only just recently started to use it regularly for non-diabetes reasons. Ray says something really sad and really true. Obesity is the last acceptable prejudice. Well, I would say there's more, but those people are usually protesting in the streets, if you know what I mean. I don't know if, I don't know the answer here. I just know that this is like a lifelong struggle for especially Americans, but around the world, but Americans more than ever. I mean, we have shows on TLC about this. And if you can get your hands on a drug that can actually lower all your markers and really increase your chances of health in life and lower your risk factors, etc., isn't that like a positive thing? However, what sucks is like, I imagine there's a whole host of women out there who felt like Heather was them, right? And tell me if you guys think I'm wrong. Tell me, like, there's a lot of people out there who feel like, oh my gosh, Heather is me. Like, we have the same body. We're both confident. We love to have fun. We're both good moms. We're pretty. We're stylish. We dress well. We're successful, but we're both overweight. And then all of a sudden now Heather's like, it's like we lost her in our club. And that's, I think a lot of women are feeling a little bit like deserted whenever someone loses weight. Like Oprah, right? Oprah's like us. And then she loses weight and you're like, oh, I guess she's not. Heather was like me. Oh, she's not. I'm not saying me. Please, please, please don't think that I'm calling myself overweight or anything. That's not. Chris says, Donna, please don't assume that all fat people have health risks. It's not the case. You're right. I didn't say that. I said earlier, a lot of skinny people have really bad inner health and a lot of heavier people have really healthy health. So please, please, please do not. And tell me if I'm saying anything also, you guys. I know you've got my back, even though there's 560 people here on this live. I just want to make sure that I'm not saying anything that's going to offend people. That is not my goal. I just think it's an interesting conversation. And the Housewives, more than anything I've ever seen, have all become shrunk in 1 year. 1 year ago, all of them shrunk. a year before, like a year ago from today, we weren't really talking about semaglutide and Ozempic. It wasn't like on the table, right? It's really, really, it's really a new topic to talk about. Is it a fad? Is it like another fat flush? Is it another South Beach diet? Is it another keto situation? Is this a thing that can be like worked out long term? It is a conversation worth having. Thank you, Ray. And Chris, if I did by mistake say that all overweight people have higher health risks, I did not in any way mean that. So I am so sorry. Never my goal. We all have to check, you guys. I have high cholesterol. I've always been a petite person and I have high cholesterol. It's genetic. I've always had high cholesterol since I was a kid, literally like a young kid. So anyway, it's a conversation. It's a controversial conversation that Heather Gay. All right, let's think if there's anything else to talk about. Brittany, rotten hell. You guys, I talked about this last week that Brittany, that one of my friends sent me a DM saying Jax was seen at a bar making out with another chick, not Brittany. Now, I know no one's like admitting Jax has cheated. No one's saying it out loud. I'm telling you, I got a DM. I think he's cheating. I think he has cheated. So when Brittany was moving out, she's definitely moved out. Jax pretended she's not moving out, but she is moving out. She moved into a rental house, and then she was caught with a friend with paparazzi over the weekend. And she was talking about the fact that Jax needs to change things that he's been doing for too long. Like he is not changing. So what could it be? Cheating, drugs, inappropriate conversations, spending money, drinking too much. What is it? Either way, I don't want to watch The Valley. But Brittany has kind of moved on from like trying to connect herself with Jax. I think it's interesting. She changed her last name on her Instagram account. But she did mention one thing in the paparazzi video that annoyed the crapola out of me. She said, well, if you watch The Valley, you'll start to see some of the cracks in our relationship. So now we have to watch? Now we have to watch The Valley to see the cracks? I don't care enough to see the cracks. I see cracks. I'm watching you. I see a crack. I don't want to like... when we talk about Brittany and Jax, we're not talking about a couple that's like so solid foundation, man. This couple's Brittany and Jax, like, man, they really know life. Like it's just such a joke. Like Brittany and Jax were built on controversy and toxicity. Rotten hell. I don't want to watch cracks. I want to watch solid. Can we please watch a reality show based on a happy marriage? Okay. Give me one. Let's watch the Gertie and Russell show. I need some happy marriage shit in my life these days. You guys, maybe Jax was doing crack. You can watch the crack. That's funny, Debbie. You can watch the cracks in our relationship as you can see Jax Taylor doing crack in the Valley. He does so much crack. He's created a Valley. I don't know. Okay. You guys, it's so funny. Crack is whack, Josh said. You guys, I really appreciate the open, honest conversation. I love how many people are here. I love how many more people are subscribing. 559 of you guys. If you're watching this live right now, please make sure you've subscribed because I'm growing, but I'm inching. You guys remember, I have to get to 15,000 by the end of the month or else I'm a failure to society. If I don't get to 15,000 by the end of the month, what's going to happen? I'm going to have to join Jax's crack. That just sounds so bad. So bad. Yes, the Traitors finale will be this week. And Andy did announce this morning that he's airing his reunion that he filmed over the weekend straight after the Traitors Thursday night. So Thursday night is going to be must-see TV plus the Summer House episode 3. Summer House is killing it right now with, all the drama, the fallout of Lindsay calling Craig basically assuming that he wasn't sober and that he was relapsing and on drugs. What a horrible experience. Anyway, you guys, I love you. I do. I really, really do. Watch me on stories on Instagram if you guys want to see Murphy go to the vet, and my new car. I'm driving home with it in a few hours. I appreciate all of you guys. This makes my life happy. Daily dose of happiness. Have a great day. Bye, you guys.